6, Minnesota.
Hi, Jace. All right, everybody, I have Coach with me.
Hey, Coach, we'll get started with questions from Kent. Kent, go ahead.
Yeah, could you just talk about that stretch in the third quarter when I think McBride had 10 points in a 12-0 run? I mean, that basically just changed the game, didn't it?
It did. Yeah, it came at a good time. And, some of it was, K-Mac just, finding an opening, and we were getting it to her. It was in transition, ran a couple plays for her. She wanted it and obviously knocked it down. We felt like we were going to need, obviously every game you feel like you need some outside shooting, because everything, I think right now, we're kind of going back to forcing some things, and K-Mac gave us the ability to get the floor space a little bit better. And like you said, change the game.
The defense, your defense in particular, the second half, I think they were 11 for 31 or something in the second half, and particularly fouls on Griner after what happened in the first half.
Yeah.
Did you make adjustments defensively, or did you just execute what you wanted to do better because you kind of shut them down the second half?
Yeah, I mean, I just thought that in the first half, Sil was over helping and not returning to BG. We had talked to Sil about BG's shot attempts a lot of them were away from the basket, prior to our game. That BG's, shooting threes in games, and she got one tonight. And so Sil knew that, was ready for that, the same way we just guarded Cam Bays. I mean, Cam Bays is, a lot of her shots are away from the basket. And I just didn't think I thought the other players were putting Sil in a bad spot, needing help. And so when Sil gets into a help situation, it's very hard to get back out there. It's not what she does for a living. And so I thought we cleaned up some things that were happening that was causing Sil to think about a teammate wanting to help them, so that she could stay closer and pay more attention to what was happening. And 21 in the first half, 10 of 10. Fortunately, she didn't get as many opportunities in the second half.
Now, after starting 0-4, you're above 500 for the first time. You won 3 straight. How do you feel about the direction this team is going? Do you think they've got some kind of core concepts down? I mean, you're starting to kind of create an identity of playing defense. I mean, you held them to 42% tonight.
Yeah, the rebounding was big. I would say so. I think probably all the teams probably feel that way, that had those, the rougher starts, players not there, didn't necessarily have momentum. I think every team probably at this point, has found an identity, is playing to it. And I thought that, defensively in the second half, we were harder to play against. I got to figure out how, some of the fouling, it really felt like, things were a little bit, one-sided in terms of whether it's illegal screens or what was happening in the paint. And, I got to get our players to be stronger and kind of, play through contact, because it just seems like, we're just not going to get the balance, because the foul line is really, really big. Phoenix and Vegas both play to the foul line a lot. And we have to just do a better job trying to, make sure that we don't have separation as we did today. But yeah, I think that, I don't, when you say 0-4, that seems like it was last year. It doesn't even seem like it happened this year. So much happens within a week in the WNBA, and you have to be so forward thinking, just like Phoenix will do. You move on to the next one, try to win the next game. That's what everybody does. And so I don't even remember, other than watching that Phoenix game from game 1. I don't remember. You kind of block it out, and even what happened, a week ago, we just don't remember it. You got to have short-term memory, and turning the page and moving forward is how you exist in this league.
Neil, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, having covered you for a few years now, I got to imagine you're pretty ecstatic about that rebounding number. I've had some games where that's been, you had a tough go of it on the glass, but how are you able to just really control the rebounding for the entire game tonight? And sort of how big is it when you can really just hold your opponent to one shot every single time throughout the entire game?
Yeah. It's been something we've talked about, like you said, Neil, you know us well. You know me well. I just thought we were getting at all positions where we were doing a little more of seeking shots or seeking the ball. We just felt like if you give Phoenix multiple shots at it, they're going to score. And so that was absolutely very, very much any team that you play. You want to make sure that, it's a possession game. You got to end their possession. Leja, I think Leja's really helping us at that end. Being physical, seeking a ball, still needs help. If he needs help in there. And so, a collective effort is what we're happy with.
We'll go last question to Jace. Jace, go ahead.
Hey, Cheryl, regulation of Vegas game aside, what have you liked most about the late game execution these last few games?
We put ourselves in a bad position again, just like we did in Vegas. We went through a stretch where we're not getting shots up, we're turning it over. Shot clock violation because Leja doesn't shoot it when she's open. And then we have, Dantas trying to throw to Fee, and she's open. You got to get it to her. You got to connect. You got to make the play. So, I think we're doing the right things. We just got to make the play. And then we find ourselves in the hornet's nest and we got to dig our way out. And, Leja comes through again on a late shot, meaning a late clock bucket to, stiff arm a little bit. It was a 4-point game at that point, and that was a big basket for us. And so I like that we're hanging in there. I like that if we didn't score, our mindset has been they don't score and be really hard to play against. And, we had some success at that other times, not as much, which is why you had a lead and all of a sudden you don't. But overall, what I like is, winning the game, winning a hard game on the road. It's hard to do in this league.
And then with how much you guys play offensively in the paint, through the paint, are you surprised, I guess, when like the low number of free throws tonight and that, when you do get outshot at the line, I guess, just given the way you run your offense? Yeah.
That's well said. I think that's, like I said, I got to watch the video. We're going to be sending things into the TIW for review, and we're going to be, it's really concerning, because it just didn't seem to match for our aggression. Just didn't seem to match. And, a lot of times you go back and watch the video and you go, okay, well, I see what they didn't see there. But it's a hard game to officiate. I think sometimes playing or officiating Minnesota and Phoenix and all the emotion. And there's a lot of things that happened in that game that I thought were unacceptable from an officiating standpoint, that we will address appropriately. And some of which is going to be, combing through, the calls, no calls, the illegal screens it's an imbalance. It was an imbalance in the first game in Minnesota that we got all the illegal screens on us, none on them. It just, we just got to look at it and we'll send it. And we hope that, the next crew you get does a great job. They're trying to get it right. But obviously this next game is going to be, you're going to need a good crew because this next game is going to be tough on them.
Great. Thank you, Coach. Have a good night.
Thanks for staying up, everybody.
Thanks, Cheryl.
All right, everybody, I have Fee with me.
Hey, Fee, we'll get started with questions from Kent. Kent, go ahead.
Talk about McBride during that spurt in the third quarter. I think she had 10 points in a 12-0 run. When you see a shooter like that getting into a rhythm, it's got to be kind of exciting to see, huh?
Yeah, so fun and such a momentum changer for us. I mean, the points that she brought, especially like the transition ones, are really a dagger for the other team. So she really gave us a lot of energy and it was fun to watch.
Talk about the defense you guys played, particularly in the second half. I think you held them to just 11 field goals in the second and third, or in the third and fourth quarters. Did you guys adjust anything, or did you just start playing the schemes better?
I don't really remember us talking about adjusting too much. I think, obviously BG was 10 for 10 and going into the half. So adjusting on her a little bit, making her put it on the floor and things like that. So just really kind of staying solid in our schemes and making sure that we all knew what we're doing and we're on the same page.
Coach said that that 0-4 start seems almost like it was last year. I mean, it wasn't, but I mean, does it kind of feel that way to you too, that was just like a whole different era?
Yeah, well, I wasn't here for 3 of the games, so it really doesn't feel real for me. But yeah, I mean, just watching the film, we watched a little bit of film from the last time we played Phoenix, and we're a totally different team. So that's a really good thing that we've come so far in not that much time.
Jace, go ahead.
See a couple of double-digit rebounding games in a row here. Not to say the totals were low before that for you, but like, has that been even an added emphasis this last week or so?
Yes. Clearly you didn't ask Cheryl this question because yes. Definitely trying to get in there and get more rebounds. Still needs some help. She's a rebounding machine, but she can't get everyone. So really trying to get in there and making sure I'm cleaning up with her as well.
Now, what do you like just maybe about the team's toughness down the stretch of games? Like, it hasn't always been pretty, but late in these close contests, you guys just keep seeming to be able to find a way. I guess, why do you think that is?
I think it just comes from within, playing hard for your team. And it was so close, it was a battle the entire game. And we know it's going to be hard, especially here at Phoenix. So just really staying tough together and not falling apart, making sure that, we're all on the same page and that we're staying strong as a unit.
Any last questions for Fee?
Back to backs always against the same opponent always seem to like have probably a little bit of heightened intensity in game two. Can you imagine a Phoenix Lynx game having an even heightened intensity, I guess, off of even like tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it will. It's, especially playing a team in the playoff situation like this, where you're playing them twice in a row, it's going to be hard, but in a different way, because we're going to take away things that they did this game and they're going to do the same. And so you're going to have to find different ways to score. I'm sure emotions will be just as high. So we'll see what happens on Saturday.
Great. Thank you, Fee. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thanks, Fee.
All right, everybody, I got K-Mac with me.
Hey, Kayla, we'll get started with questions from Kent. Kent, go ahead.
Kayla, take us through that third quarter run that you guys had. I think it was 12-0, and you had 10 of those points. How things kind of came together for you. And I mean, when you're a shooter, when do you kind of know that you're kind of getting into that groove?
I mean, shoot or shoot. There's always the next shot. Obviously, I haven't been shooting it that well the last two games, and I just want to kind of come out and be aggressive. That my team needed me to be. We only had 8 tonight, and it's not just on Fee and Sil to score. I just want to continue to be confident and do what I had to do. Obviously, I knew they're going to be really focused in on our 2 Olympians. So I just wanted to be out there and be aggressive and do what it takes to win. I mean, for me, it's just about getting to the next play. Sometimes, you as a shooter, when you're not making shots, it can feel like it's a lot. So, I've been really thankful for Coach. Just always in my ear saying the right things, allow me to focus on the things that I need to be focused on. And, it's much more than just makes and misses. It's about how you play the game and how engaged I am. And, I just want to continue to do that.
You feel like your offensive production had a lot to do with how intensely you were playing defense at the other end, in terms of kind of getting you into that mindset?
I enjoy the challenge. I love playing against D. It's always a a big moment for me. I love competing with her and Sky. They're 2 of the best in this game, and when you see them across from you, obviously you're gonna get their best at all times. Obviously BG had a game tonight, but just trying to compete on both ends of the floor. That's what it's about. It's super hard to win games in this league. It's very competitive, especially in other teams' gyms. They had a hell of an environment tonight, so I just want to come out and be aggressive. I know you always know what you're going to get against those 2, so just continue to be aggressive and do what I can.
Jace, go ahead.
Talked a little bit about the environment and the intensity you could see was obvious tonight. Is it funny now that after a game like tonight, you play the same team again here in 2 days?
Yeah, that is a weird dynamic. We kind of just treat it like a series, just like what the playoffs are like. But we're thankful we have an extra day, because in Dallas we didn't have that extra day. But the environment was amazing. It was really nice to have courtside fans, and hopefully we can get that back in many soon. So it was a lot of fun, great environment. It always is here. Mercury fans are some of the best. So it was a lot of fun, and it's just a great environment. Those type of games you want to be in. The crowd's going crazy, going against one of the best guards ever, if not the best guard ever. Obviously, yeah, it's exciting, it's fun. That's those types of games you want to play in as a pro.
That like the type of shooter and scorer you are, the shots are going to fall, even when they're not. But still, how good does that feel, I guess, after a couple of games like that, to have them fall down and be able to contribute like this tonight?
It's good, but that's what I expect of myself. That's what I've been doing my whole career. So, obviously makes misses It's about getting to the next play. But, I think the biggest thing for me at this point in my career is how engaged I am on both ends. And that's what Coach Reeve expects of me. I'm always going to get one of the best guard matchups on both ends of the floor, defensively and offensively. So I'm just trying to stay engaged as I possibly can and be who I need to be on both ends of the floor for my team.
Any last questions for Kayla?
How different is
Great.
this team?
No,
Go ahead, Jace, go ahead.
I got time for one. I got time.
Sorry, Kayla, how different does this, like, in what area have you seen this team grow the most from where you were at the start of the year 0-4 to where you are now?
I mean, it's just our resiliency, and I think that we really know what our identity is on the defensive end. And slowly but surely we're figuring out on the offensive end. It hasn't always been pretty, but we just battle, man. We're so resilient on both ends of the floor. Whether calls are going our way, whether shots are going our way, makes, misses, whatever. We're just really resilient. I think that's just a testament to the culture and the expectation to be tough on both ends of the floor that Coach Reeve has created. You can feel that. You can feel that in our huddles. You can feel that in the locker room. We're holding each other accountable. And I think that that's just coming with trust and understanding who we are as a group. Obviously, with the injuries and things like that, it's hard. But I think that this team has showed a lot of resiliency. And when you can get roads against a great team like Phoenix, that's just a testament to that.
Thanks, Kayla.
Thank you.
Thanks, K-Mark. Have a good night.
Thanks.